You think about this hybrid rolling out halfway through the season, you got a new paved course. You've been really good here, been very consistent here per usual. Concerns and regen, that kind of stuff.
I think there's still a lot of unknowns. Obviously, we've done a lot of testing with it, but it's been very strange. Like a lot of the miles we've done at Homestead, which is the polar opposite to here. So how it affects things, I still think is a little bit of an unknown. A lot of the miles we've done on this lately has been on oval. So I don't have an answer yet. I think that, certainly it adds a whole other element for us to manage, for the engineers to think about. I don't think it'll be it's not going to make or break someone's weekend. It certainly could be enough it does produce enough kind of lap time to transfer you out of a group. So it'll be important to nail that, but it's not like if you nail the hybrid and you screw up the car balance or the tires or something like that, it's not going to save you. So it's pretty minimal from that standpoint. I think the repave will certainly help combat all of the weight it's at. The fact that it's happening mid-season, I don't think was on the top of anyone's list, but I think it was the right decision because I had first-hand experience with where it was at in March, and it would not have been good. So I think the series did a great job to get us to this point, and I think reliability really isn't a concern. Obviously, there's going to be stuff that breaks, but that's motorsports, but it's not going to be this mass carnage event of cars not finishing.
How important is the next 9 races?
How what? Sorry?
The next 9 races, free agency, obviously your dad's probably taking care of a lot of that, I would imagine.
They're all important. They're always important. Whether you have a contract or not, it's all important.
But you just want to finish out well with your there.
Yeah. I mean, we're on a good trajectory right now. The team's in a good spot. It's important for all of us to maximize it.
How surprised were you with the news on Tuesday?
I wasn't.
Thanks.
You were doing a lot of testing with the hybrid and then racing without the hybrid. Now it's all testing and racing with the hybrid now. How good is it to where now you don't have to worry about racing without the hybrid and it's all in one configuration rather than having to switch back and forth between testing with one and racing with a different one?
Yeah, it was getting pretty annoying for a while to be going back and forth, especially for the crews. It's been a long slog for them. So I'm glad that hybrid units are in and they're here to stay. We can all just focus on the future of that and working on understanding more and it being better.
The hybrid system in IndyCar, what kind of instruction did you get before your first time in the car? Was it a manual? Was it a PDF? Was it a PowerPoint? How did they tell you everything about how everything was going to work?
I mean, for us, we've been one of the development teams, so it's kind of just been on-the-job training. And this I mean, we probably now had 15, 20 days in it, so I don't really know that I remember. It's all pretty normal now, but it's not that complicated. I think the big thing for fans to understand is, if the battery, if the cat pack is full, it's going to affect the braking performance. And if you're already at your energy limit for the lap, you don't have the ability to deploy to reduce your state of charge, which means your braking performance to end the lap can be affected. So that's the thing you're managing most. It's really not anything to do with, you push a button and you get all this horsepower. It's more just managing your state of charge throughout the lap.
How does the system compare to a Formula One system or a GP system that you have experience with?
They're not comparable. I mean, it's not comparable. Very different systems. This one doesn't have a big enough impact to really change anything. So I guess that's the easiest answer.
So when there's a lot of talk about using push to pass and hybrid, is that something you're planning on doing, or are you going to use them separately? You've got different answers on that.
I mean, push to pass really will override the hybrid. The hybrid is a good step of power for sure, but it's because of the current limits that we have, which again, this is weekend number 1. It's gonna go up from here, but the current limits that we have don't allow power to really be deployed for that long a period of time. So whereas push to pass can be used, I mean, if you want to use 20 seconds of time, you can. So that's going to be more, for example, if you have a restart here and you go off in turn 1 and you deploy your hybrid you're not going to keep the car behind you. Like, it's not pushing.
Is there any, like, so we saw the Joseph Newgarden thing in Laguna where they waited to throw the yellow. Now with you had to restart the engine, restart your car after a runoff and spin. Do you think we'll see we get less yellows with this hybrid?
I think on street, a better example is like Detroit. Like, I think we'll see less yellows in Detroit for sure, because so many of those yellows were cars that were barely impacted or damaged. They were just down to runoff and stolen or whatever. Now that will be greatly reduced. I think I didn't watch Laguna, but there's still going to be yellows when cars are stuck in the gravel and that sort of thing. But street courts don't make a big difference.
Okay, cool. Thank you. How much do you predict you're going to be manually regen versus doing it automatically in the braking?
I think it would be a very rare case where you're manually regenerating.
It should be taken care of mostly on its own when you're braking. Can you adjust those settings of how much it's braking automatically?
Yeah, it's not braking automatically. It's just pulling a little bit of energy back. But yes, you can adjust how aggressively it's doing.
Alex Gins for Frontstretch.com. Come back for more great racing content, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.